Hey!
G'day, g'day, and welcome back to the last Alliance of Noobs and Men. The tier list boys are back at it with another tier list.
I've got to say it. Sean,
Oh.
I've got to say it.
Do it, just fucking do it.
What's up, Noob Nation?
It's now a thing. It's on a t-shirt and everything.
It's on a t-shirt.
Disgusting. Thanks, Larry.
Oh,
We're here to do an Angmar tier list, and we've brought along a guest, an expert in Angmar, loves his Angmar boys, Mr. Jeffrey from W.A.R.G up in Gladdy.
Hey guys, Jeff from W.A.R.G here.
Oh, the buttery voice.
Buttery voice of Jeff, I've heard. Yeah, no, look, budding Angmar player, not very good, but I'll try and offer insights where I can, lads. I'm sure you will have the helm, and I'll just hopefully give you a hand on the wheel.
What
Jesus,
wheel?
take the wheel.
Yeah, we don't touch it.
This car is driven with a screwdriver.
Perfect.
The wrench on the drive shaft.
Now, we're all professionals here. We've all meticulously researched our lists. Once again, we know what we're talking about. So get ready for it. Yeah, no need to call us out.
No, we know everything there is to know about all these lists.
That's
and you guys just need to stop playing the lists wrong, obviously.
Do what we say.
Yeah.
Which king is obviously D tier?
Yeah, straight up.
That's
Straight
Never
up,
take it.
get
Never
outta
take
here.
a witch king.
Oh,
Jeez.
leave.
Birder
All
all the way.
Yeah.
Speaking of Birder,
Is he the first one?
Our first drop tonight.
Oh, diggity dog. Oh, look at Liam. Where we don't have our little pips anymore. They're little square boys.
I accidentally made them squares.
You need to stop being such a cunt.
That's right. We're changing it up. We're keeping it fresh.
Fully intentional, definitely what I meant to do. We've done enough of these that we've got to change it up sometimes.
Yeah, trying to bring in a new audience, but trying to bring in the square audience.
Birder, troll chieftain.
Big boy.
Hero of Valor, 110 points, fight 6, strength 6, D6, 3 attacks, 3 might on a troll. Ooh.
Jeffrey, is he one of the most cost-effective models in the game?
For the points, he's mental. He's got a lot going for him. Like I said, 110 points for 3 might, a fight 6 hero with 3 attacks, 3 wounds at defense 6. Pick for piercing strike if you want to get that, get that strength up to strength 7. There is
You need it. Yeah.
for 110 points, that's unreal value.
Hard to beat.
Really?
Yeah.
He becomes a banner for the turn if he kills a hero or monster.
Monster, yep.
Yeah.
Still got Terror, Throw Stones, Terror and Angmar. A lot of Terror in there,
man.
but with the amount of Harbinger, you get even more value out of Terror. So
Get a lot of value out of Terra for sure.
I think
He's got
only
strike.
Yeah, he does. And any troll with strike is ridiculous. Troll
Oh, my
chieftain,
God.
sorry.
Yeah.
I think his only downfall is that 1 fate, but with 3 wounds, doesn't really matter too much.
no, and he did keep the cave troll defense 6, so he isn't as tough as like a.
Not as tough, no. Yeah, that D6 hurts him a little bit. It would have been nice to have been D7, but even so, once he's in the thick of it, it's hard to put him down for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Probably the only complaint I have with him, like there's not much to complain about. You're getting a lot for your points, but just that you can get a cave troll burly 2-handing. And he's stuck at +1 to wound. You get piercing strike and whatnot, but
that's
it's
true.
that's probably the one negative to it. But it's still for 110 points, you get an absolute bargain. And it's probably just asking for the cream on top at that point, really.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It is funny. Yeah, he does drop burly from being a cave troll to the troll chieftain. Yeah, that is. I've never really noticed that. To be honest,
I don't mind dropping burly for 3 points of might. Like,
yes,
yeah,
that's
true.
a trade, eh? Yeah.
That's
the thing as well.
Trade.
He's not even that much more burly, obviously you need to grab that 2-handed hammer to utilize it, so that's an 80-point model.
80,
yeah, it's 30 points to grab 3 points of might and strike and that banner effect
And
not
piercing
bad.
strikes,
and piercing strike.
yeah, it's good.
I'd be hard pressed not to put him in S tier. Really, I think he sits at a nice like low S tier,
Ooh.
top of A tier. Like
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Jeff?
I would have said, yeah, mid to high A personally, mate. Just within the army itself, compared to other armies, he's probably S tier through and through just because of what you get for the points. But I think within
Yeah.
Angmar itself, he's probably high A.
top of A tier. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'd give it
I
that.
like-
Also, I've just noticed with the boxes, it pops
Hey.
the out.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Production value up.
Is that better or worse?
It's animation.
It's animation. Oh, yeah. Look, honestly, I think I agree with you, Jeff. Though that's S tier he's close, especially if you can
Yeah.
grab him in some other lists. Oh,
He
amazing.
definitely wouldn't be like mid S tier. He would have been low S tier for me for sure. Would have been at the very end of S tier, but
Yeah.
top of A tier.
I think his
100% bang on.
the biggest thing I'm not thinking S tier for him is that he's just so weak to shooting with that D6. Like you just throw a couple of shots at him, he's suddenly on, 1 wound or dead. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think sure the lads might have seen us that game we had, Sean, where I've never seen him come so close to death from
Oh, it was
shooting as when you
beautiful.
put 10 rangers into him. It's like, oh, I'm in danger.
Yeah. Danger.
I very much enjoyed the very next turn. It was like 10 rows
6
of
in the
orcs
waist.
just in
Yeah.
front. I was like,
Let's
"Fuck."
get some in the waist,
Okay.
please. Oh man.
Well, next up is the
Alright.
Angmar Orc Captain. In general, I do not like an Orc Captain. Angmar
But
Orc
in Angmar-
Captains, even then, I
Terror.
would be sure they've got terror, but even then, like if you chuck them on a W.A.R.G, I'd up that a little bit more. But like I'm looking at Barrow wights or shades or even the Orc Shaman, really.
Bit of March though, which is the only source of March in the army.
Fuck March.
Actually, well, the chieftain technically has it, but only WARGs can benefit from him.
Yeah, fair.
The WARG chieftain, I mean.
Yeah, that's for me. I see him as that cheap access to might in the Angmar list. Like if a couple of lads I've talked to, the one thing you do struggle for sometimes in Angmar is might, and getting a hero 45 or whatever his point hero with 2 might. If you can call a move with him and save Gulavhar spending his for moves or something like that, like that's So
just a little bit. Yeah, I think he's easily. I think we put the mortal one. I think C tier.
I think we put him D, to be honest.
He might have.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think he's got to go B tier. Like that, causing terror, 2 points of might for 45 points if you grab him a shield, which you probably are going to do.
Yeah, make him
Also
D.
on a WARG, he's not anything to sneeze at with.
No.
fight 4.
On a W.A.R.G, I'm definitely saying B tier, but off the W.A.R.G, I feel he's a lot closer to C tier. But like, once again, like I've not played Angmar. It's just this is off the cuff for me.
I'll give you an Angmar specific example. Like a play with your captain, you can't do a mortal that I particularly love. Doesn't work against heroes with strike and whatnot, and just might in general. Sorry, but a Orc captain on W.A.R.G into things without might, supported by a shade.
Oh, the shade, a shade.
I've had an Orc captain hold a Balrog up for 8 turns.
Yeah, you
got
would.
3 dice on the charge with might, and if you roll the 6, you win.
You win, yeah. Oh my god.
So he's got some real utility as a synergy piece.
We'll leave him B tier.
Yeah,
The expert says B tier, so I will agree with that.
budding Angmar player, mate. That's all I am.
Expert. Look, compared to the two of us, you've played the army.
That's what it was.
Look,
But of course, Sean and I.
We didn't call ourselves the last line to Noobs men for nothing.
I fall into the first category. And I was here for the noob part. I thought.
Yeah. Oh mate. So we're on the Dwimmy Lake.
Dwimmalaki.
Yeah, it's an interesting hero. I like his kind of his Grima ability.
Yeah, the 4+ Grima ability is decent.
Yeah. I don't like that he's not got any might. That's kind of my biggest problem with him.
Yeah.
And also he has to two-hand. Not that you're really chucking him into much, but having to two-hand on a 120 point model is a bit rough. Though Again, with synergies, if you've got a shade around, two-handing with him isn't actually the worst.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's sort of. I see him as a sort of like probably the better. Well, we'll talk about the other one later, but I think he's the better of the two. But he is purely, in my mind, a support piece. Like if you probably get him in combat, I'd nearly say I'm happy to be shot down in flames, but I don't think I'd be happy if he didn't see around a combat in a game. But 120 points for the 16 will to just cast spells and cost might. Like I think that's his job through and through, just to sit in the back line, get that harbinger up, give the orcs terror, and be a pest with spells.
Yeah, big time. I mean, he's got some good casting.
He's a mid-range caster for the named wraiths, so like.
Yeah,
he's average. He's a bit better than average on the name wraiths. Quite a lot of them are, really struggle with black darts and that kind of stuff. But
even just sitting there every turn and go on the 3+ transfix,
Even 3+ transfixes.
That's it. I think my only question that comes with the named wraiths and even the unnamed wraiths in this list is, are you taking them or are you taking the Witch King? Because I feel like you're walking in going.
That's the question.
I feel like you're walking and going, I'm going to take the Witch King, so I'm not even looking at these other guys.
Yeah, and that's
where like
building competitively.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like suddenly like the Dwimalaki and what's the other boy called?
Dwimalaki.
He's lacking, and the Tainted kind of like fall down a bit in terms of tier rankings, even to sit in the B level.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of because the thing is as well though, the Witch King's quite expensive, especially if you're chucking on the the crown, chucking him on Fell Beast, all of that kind of stuff. Like he's coming up to 200 odd points easy.
Yeah,
more really.
With Sean on that one though, like if you like I said, this guy I'd take as a support guy. I would more readily spend the extra 30 or 40 points to get the Witch King up the same profile with the crown. And then if all your plans go pear-shaped, you've still got a 3 attack model, 4 on the charge on horse or whatever to throw in if you need to plug a hole or something, Like it's just
it is true. It is true. I think he's ooh.
I'm B, boys.
Yeah.
Some B.
Beastie boys.
Look, I don't know. The Tainted. We'll come to the Tainted. I have thoughts on the Tainted, but we'll see.
Fair enough.
Oh my god. Oh, Gulavhar.
Put him S tier.
Yeah, don't even ask me.
Yeah.
Oh, Gulavhar.
So good.
Christ almighty. I had a game at doubles recently. I say recently, it was 2 months ago now almost.
Recent.
Yeah, recent. It was literally the most recent tournament I've been to. But coming up against Gulavhar, we were playing Fog of War. Gulavhar was one of the targets. What's our target? Oh, it wasn't Fog of War, but it was like Fog of War. It was the doubles version of Fog of War. Like you're choosing a hero to kill. You've got a center catcher point, that kind of stuff. Anyway, Gully was the target. We came in last turn. I threw Celeborn in. No one had might. He didn't roll the 6, so Celeborn comes in with 4 dudes, double attacks. I got him down to 1 HP, which is ludicrous. He should have been dead. We ended up one more turn. It was Gulavhar with 1 attack. He needed a 6. Gets the 6, wins the fight, kills lads. And it's oh my God. It hurts so much to have one model just go, I have a 6 on 1 dice. You lose the game. That stopped us from getting first. That 1-6 stopped us from getting first place in that tournament.
I love that. God. That's beautiful.
It was brutal.
Because if Liam got a first, if Liam won a tournament, we would not hear the end of it for the rest of eternity.
Excuse me, I have won a tournament. You're talking to your High King.
Shit. Shit.
I will not have this disrespect.
The usurper of my usurper. I love it.
But yeah, look, I mean, Gulavhar, what's
sensational?
What more to say about Gulavhar? He's a little weak to shooting, but
That
That's
is that all is weak to? I feel like it is really, because once it's in
Oh,
combat,
if you
unless
get
you're
yeah,
striking,
that's the thing. Strikers, the other thing I look for in a list straight away is if I got Gulavhar on my list, I'll put him on the table. I'll say, what shooting have you got? What have you got in the way of strikers? And you just, if you can play around that, yeah.
You'll laugh
The
at-
problem, that's the way I've explained Gulavhar to the lads is to me he's the sharpest scalpel in the game. But if you misplay him slightly with that low
Snap.
defense, and yeah, it's just. But if you play him well, there's not much out there that can deal with him really.
Yeah. I actually forgot that he doesn't have strike, does he?
No.
So it's stuck fight 7
Yeah,
stuck.
still fight 7 though.
Yeah, that's it.
But also, like,
I
the
mean,
fact that he's got that 12-inch fly means that you
Yes.
can reliably hide him behind buildings for as long as you want until the archers are in combat, or stay away from those striking heroes.
yeah,
know.
you can pretty reliably avoid quite a lot of the stuff with that 12-inch move for sure.
There's especially
Oof.
talking about the synergy in the list again though, but this list lends itself a lot. There's a lot of models in here that can move the enemy models out of sequence. So your
That's
enemy
it
can
as
set up a
well.
lovely no-fly formation or whatever, and then you just make this hole where you need it, and Gulavhar just flies in.
Oh, no fly formations. They're,
But even
they're a godsend.
I also enjoy Angmar with that control going. I'm
Yeah.
going to cancel your shooting by putting like 3 of your models in front of your shooting line. Now
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got like 3 shots. It's
Yeah. Oh my god. God,
It's,
hang on. Oh my god, it's
So good.
such a powerful list. Holy
Love it.
shit. Well,
Next
moving
up
on
the
to
shade to another powerful model.
is anyone going to argue with Shade being,
Yes.
S tier?
I walked into this saying if it went S tier, I would come up with a counter argument.
Oh,
Do it.
okay,
All right.
okay.
I love it. Go. Counter. Counter.
Really good, but it forces you into a way of playing. You know what I mean? Like if you take a shade, you are 6-inch death bubbling. I don't think Angmar lends. It's like it's good and it works well against a lot of things, but I don't think Angmar's strength's in a 6-inch death bubble. You know what I mean? Like it's that's it. It's still a really good model.
I
just don't
can
think
see that. Yeah, I just think like
So couldn't you
that is very true.
couldn't you still play it in the way where you put him where he's needed? So you're not necessarily relying on in that death bubble, but like he's away from wherever and is off running around for the Witch King, making sure the Witch King does not lose anything, or is with Birder, making sure Birder's doing Birder things. So does he need to be with that death bubble, as you call it, or?
Yeah, just get the value. Like it's you could, and it's just whether he'd make 100 points back. Like he's a fairly he does a big
100 points is a lot for sure, but I think like 6 inches, like if you've got your your big, your Gully, your Witch King, your Birder, something along those lines, if you've got them where they need to be, which is usually going to be near the big hero kind of thing, your opponent's big hero, if you've got the Shade in behind, that's a pretty it's a pretty hard task to beat those models with the Shade in behind for sure.
Yeah, just remember that the hero can spend that point of might to overcome. Yeah, and that's it's definitely.
But
it's
the other thing is though, they can spend that point of might, but for how long?
100%. Yeah.
For how long can they afford to do that? And also, if you've got Gully, or they're going to have to spend might to strike against Gully for the most part, and then spend might if they really want to win that fight on that 6. Well, assuming Gully gets the 6. But yeah, I just think it just brings that value to those big heroes that they already. It is 100 points though. You're absolutely right. It is quite expensive to get you that value for sure.
I definitely see your points, and it kind of does make me want to drop him from S to A, because he also feels like a model that you're not relying on in the list. You can happily take him in an Arnold, or you can happily play Arnold, play Angmar without the Shade. Yeah, which is a huge
but that's
thing,
the same. That's the same with quite a lot of these models. To be fair, you can play Angmar without Gulavhar. You almost had me saying Arnor.
It's basically Arnor.
You can play Angmar without Gully. You can play Angmar without the Witch King. There's a lot of synergy that still works even without those models.
Yeah, and it's looking at him within the list. I look at a Shade or you have 2 Barrow wights with 10 opportunities to paralyze, and that's
that's
applying
also
pressure in
big.
2 different spots. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
it's also very big.
the double barrel wight tips it for me. That if you had said that at the very beginning, I would have been like, yeah,
sorry,
fuck
mate.
the shade.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
The
Come
shade
out with the
is gone.
strong argument. Oh God.
Sorry, lads.
Opening you this weak shit.
There was definitely value in that first part, but
Yeah, for sure.
now that I think about the Barrow wights being 50 points each, 10 chances to paralyze, just how oppressive paralyze is. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that also will do a number to a big hero as well, for sure.
That's the reliability. Like, the paralyze isn't going to go up 100% of the time, but with the shade aura, the hero can spend a point of might to overcome the shade aura. If they're paralyzed, they're done.
They can spend a lot of will and might to resist, obviously, but yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's they're definitely similar, and I think they've got like a similar role. Like, you've got 8 chances to get that -1 and force them to spend that might on those boys, or you've got 10 chances to hopefully roll that 4+, and then force them to spend that might and will. Yeah.
Plus, you got the flow and effect of you've got 2 models distributing the 3-inch terror aura and stuff like that. Yeah.
That is huge. That army bonus. Because I thought it was just around heroes, but it's around spirits.
Spirits, yeah.
Which
grab a couple of specters and you're good anyway. Yeah.
You're laughing
pretty well.
Yeah. Oh man, specters. We'll get to them.
No, because it's spirit heroes.
Yeah, spirit hero. So Witch King, Gulavhar,
I thought it was
the 2
Spirit
wraiths.
Oh,
No,
Spirit
Spirit
heroes. I always thought.
So no Dead Marsh Spectres.
Which is still incredible, but we'll get to them. Onto the shaman.
I think someone's been playing Angmar against me.
Onto the shaman, lads. Where's he going? I always struggle with shamans, like in any list. I look at a shaman and go, I have no idea where to put him.
The Angmar shaman in particular, mate. Like, it's got an interesting spell, but it's up to you, lads. But I'm not going to say much about it because I don't use it. And that's probably for a reason.
Where do you put him on your list that you wrote up?
For me, D tier, mate. He's got like a niche thing that he can do, but it just doesn't do it for me. But that's just me, I guess.
Wither is nice.
Yeah.
Being able to reduce the strength of your opponent's big boy. Especially like if it's someone like, well, I was gonna say Aragorn, but he's still got his sword, so that still just counts as 4+ anyway. But someone like a Bois, someone like you've got those big heroes that if
Troll
they're
or something,
suddenly that's actually even up against what's it called? Gundabad Troll. Can't resist that. So suddenly if you've hit them with a couple of those, Troll's suddenly not getting its points back, really.
That's its one role in the list, is that Wither, and you've definitely got the tools in the list to drain the will off people for resisting
that as well. Yeah,
but it's
it's not good. No, it's not good, but it's an interesting prospect. I think
it's a tool.
It's a tool that they have.
He's probably one of the last that you would take, isn't he? So
honestly, DT, I think you're right. It's not good enough that it gets added to that list for 50 points. Like, for 50 points, I'd take an orc captain and a couple of orcs every day of the week.
Yeah, and in another list, he'd probably do fairly well. I just think Angmar's got a lot of good choices, and it's hard to put him up against,
anything else.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I would actually argue that if he was a regular shaman, I'd probably have him in the list more.
+1 straight away.
Because like the fury.
Yeah.
Like,
he doesn't have fury.
He doesn't have fury, which is like useless.
He does have instill fear, which is it's my first or second favorite spell in the game.
5+.
But you can get instill fear on literally anyone else. So
you've got the 3 wraiths that have got it as well. Like,
Witch King running around in a fell beast doing it,
the Witch King gets it on a 4.
Tainted.
The Tainted. I don't mind the Tainted, actually. I think when we were doing our Mortal one, I didn't read the very fucking last line of his rules.
Nor did I. And
it's that can't take part in heroic actions
changes
on
him
that.
drastically for
It
me.
really does.
That's huge. Not being able to partake in stand fast or heroic action, massive, absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
Just like going, especially it's like a turn, you know, you want to move, like you need to move, and your opponent's like, oh, well, I'm gonna call a heroic move. Like, you know, I'll just go with that. And you're like, oh, will you? Oh, well,
No, you won't.
tainted. I'm gonna use the tainted's point of will, and you're gonna not be able to move anyone but your big hero. That's just really nice. I actually really like that. And like, you know, your opponent then goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna move him. I'm gonna go. And you suddenly, oh, you can't bring him anyone to support him. You just surround that hero and you just
It's also great because it can save you might, and for an army that does lack might, because you're not having to counter their heroic moves with your own heroic moves, you can just go, I'm just gonna cancel your heroic, like.
Yeah.
So.
And then you know, his seeping decay is a bit shit, but
yeah.
If it goes off, it goes off.
yeah.
Oh, but even it doesn't. It can actually hurt you too. I think it's the big thing I have against. Like his profile.
Yeah, it hits friendly all enemies. Yeah.
Like,
so you've kind of got to have him on his own somewhere.
Yeah, and like it's 120 points for a spirit that you want to use for terror, but you don't want to get within the inch of him, sort of thing. It just
it's not worth it. Not the seeping decay is not really worth it, but I mean, to be fair, actually, like they have to be in base contact, so like you know, maybe like last ditch you kind of throw him into like a bunch of warriors that you really want to die, you know. Or you know, a big hero if you really, you know, need to get a leader wound or something, you really after that.
Yeah,
but you have to roll a 6, which is just
that's
a bit rough thing. But no, it's that miasmic presence. I genuinely had I had no idea why I didn't read that very last line, and it's just like, oh yeah, they just can't benefit from stand fast. That's not great.
Yeah,
you know, that no heroic actions. I think that easily puts him to 8 here, to be honest.
Yeah,
above the Dwim.
Yep.
I feel like if I'm taking any other wraith after the Witch King, it's the Tainted. If I want to take if I want to take double wraiths in this list, it's the Tainted.
Yeah. No, I think Oof, very nice. Now, the Wild chieftain.
My boy,
God's mate, this is your favorite lad.
Strength 5, isn't he?
Your favorite model, who you have been playing 1 strength down for this entire time, which I love.
Still doing damage.
And he's still going ham.
Yeah.
Strength 6.
Oh,
like it's a hell of a profile.
Oh. Like fight 5, 3 attacks. Oh.
Yeah. Strength 6, defense, like even defense 5 on WA.R.G. So you know, strength 3, 4 doing you on 5. So
but also for a captain tier model, 2 will, 3 wounds. Sorry.
Yeah. It's not. He's not really a captain at this point. It is.
No, he's his own thing. His major downside is his what's it called, Pack Lord rule, where all his stuff basically only affects other WA.R.Gs. But if you're running him, odds are you're running a bunch of WA.R.Gs as well, like you do with was it 9 WA.R.Gs or something?
9 WA.R.Gs with him.
It's good stuff.
When we say it's a downside, like there is play, like you're not worried about, you know, sometimes you call a move in a critical position and you got to go one way and you leave some models like you'd have to forego, or some models drop out of range. With this, you could have your Orc blob right next to your WA.R.G blob. You can call the heroic and you've got the flexibility to know that your WA.R.G is going to go in and tie in, and then your Orcs can follow in your normal phase. You know, like there is play with it, sort of thing.
No, that actually, because that's something I think I brought up in Isengard one, which I actually quite like, is No, not Star. I can't give a shit about Star. No, it's the drum, the Isengard drum that has the Isengard keyword. You can have a bunch of Dunlendings that is just like, oh, okay, all these guys are going to move, and they have to move that, you know. But then I've got some Dunlendings to kind of, you know, help
charge and
it's actually, it'll throw your opponent off like more often than not, I'd say.
And when that
don't expect it.
When that is your one downside, or your major
Oh my
downside,
god. Yeah.
you know you're in a good spot. When your downside is also an upside, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
D-
pretty fucking
D5
ridiculous.
is a little bit
Yeah.
worrying, but when you're 10-inch move, any model with 10-inch move, they just hide. They don't care.
Yeah. And
They
then the
hide
other
and they
thing,
come
like,
out.
he's never gonna really be your leader. Like, yeah, and he's only 80 points. Like, yeah, you might lose. He's got 3 wounds, 1 fate, and yeah, D5. Like, he might couple of wounds, but it's rare that he's gonna die outright, and it's rare that it's gonna matter, obviously. But you know, he's not pivotal to the army kind of thing. Like, it is.
You sit him next to a striking hero, and that combo is outrageously good.
My god.
Got a picture of him and Gulavhar going in. You know, you've got Gulavhar for the knockdown, 10 dice off Gulavhar at strength 8, 6 dice off him at strength 6. Nothing's living through that.
Nothing's living. Not a single goddamn thing is living through that.
Barrow, I love it. I love it.
What I'm trying to find right now is
Picture of the Witch King.
No. I've got a picture of the Witch King. Okay. I was trying to figure out if his pack lord thing would that affect a W.A.R.G rider?
No. So it's, I've got the wording in front of me. Only friendly W.A.R.G models may benefit from wild W.A.R.G chieftains. I'm pretty sure
they have to have the W.A.R.G keyword. Yeah, right.
The W.A.R.G rider keywords: Orc, Angmar, Cav, Warrior. So
I think,
when they dismount, and that's, I don't know, we'll have to probably talking a bit off the cuff here, but it's another idea I sort of just had. A bit of ad lib. Run an army of W.A.R.G riders,
and then dismount them
all. And then you've got the W.A.R.G chieftain there to rally the W.A.R.Gs up, and you know.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to pass a lot of two courage checks, but that's not a terrible idea to grab. That doubles your model count all of a sudden, and you're also like breaking in a weird way as well.
100%. It's gonna go one of 2 ways.
Yeah,
really, like that's a really messy break. I like that.
100%.
Oh my god. Yeah. Look, I think
he sits clear top of A tier.
Yeah.
In front or behind Birder, I'm not sure, but he's definitely up the top.
I think they're both in a similar position, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd probably just give the edge to Birder, but it'd only be just sort of thing, just for the utility with his might, with the strike and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the fact that he's got strike, the fact that he can become a banner, he's got fight 6 base rather than fight 5. But that is, you again, like what we're talking about with the troll, like you're saving 30 points. With getting because it's the same points as the troll, cave troll, and you're getting a bit more utility out of that as well.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. What a lovely model. The Barrow wight. It's an interesting model.
Yeah. Probably my favorite in the list. Honestly, like I love the W.A.R.G chieftain 40 years, but I don't know. It's probably the wrong attitude to have, but there is nothing more satisfying playing Angmar than someone rolls in with Gil-galad or some absolute beat stick, and a 50-point model goes up to him and goes, "You're on the ground and can't do anything."
Oh, mate, I went up against Angmar a couple of months. One Barrow wight, and went, your 3 captains paralyzed, and they did nothing for the whole game. I was relying on my troops to win me that game, which they did. But like, I couldn't do it. And like, he had enough models that I couldn't get enough guys to like go and stand in base contact with my hero to try and stand him up. It was like,
get that D6,
I've got to plug holes here. Like, it was just, and so my 3 captains are just chilling on the ground, just having a good time, just going, la-di-da, you guys do your thing. We'll just hang out here. It was horrendous. If you're not taking one, I think you're playing Angmar wrong.
I think that puts them in S tier. Like if they're a guaranteed drop.
Yeah, I'm a strong S for them, mate. I see them as
fair enough.
They're
the 50 points.
They're the Gulavhar magic. that's the thing that, you know, they set up for Gulavhar. If they've got a hero or something, you put Gulavhar into some troops. If you get the paralyze off your heroic combat into that hero, without rolling a dice, you're getting, you know, 10 dice at strength 8 to wound that hero, because you automatically win the fight. If he's prone, there's 10 dice at strength 8.
Look
You
it
know,
up.
like
It's pretty clear, I reckon. Like they're an automatic pick. They're 50 points to really mess with your opponent. Like,
I hate that they're 50 points. Why are you 50 points?
you're likely getting
if they were
like
80
2
points,
paralyzes.
If they were 80 points, I'm still auto taking one of these.
Honestly, yeah.
If they were 100 points, I would still probably auto take one. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, they're incredible.
Yeah, they're such good value.
There's hidden value. That's probably the other thing with them is a lot of people, them and the Dead March Spectres, in an army where you're very heavy with Harbinger and whatnot, having access to Blades of the Dead can be pretty handy too. Like, you know,
they have that as well.
Say.
Striking courage, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like that Blades of the Dead. And it's no pushover either. D7 with 2 wounds. Like,
probably the only thing with them is that you can, for 50 points, like I think they cost where they need to be, because you could have because it's a 4+ spell with 5 will. You can have games where they don't do anything.
They just don't pay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, you're right.
Yeah, the threat of what they could do is pretty powerful in itself, I guess. Yeah.
Because realistically, you're not going to be chucking all 5 dice at one paralyze. You're going to be like 2, 3 kind of thing.
It's something I've sort of picked up from my playing it locally is as soon as you burn that 5th will on a Barrow wight, the other player just rubs their hands together and go, I don't have to worry about paralyze anymore.
That's
If I'm playing a hero heavy list, it'll be a 2 and a 2, and I'll just leave that last point will on for the rest of the game.
It's just the threat of that one dice paralyze.
That is the big thing with them, isn't it? It's just the threat. It's the psychological game, and that's another huge thing Angmar has.
Oh my
it's
god,
just
there's such
a
psychological
part of it. It's ridiculous.
I had one of my worst breakdowns playing against your Angmar.
That was a good game.
Just like the sheer panic I
goblins
had
in a 12-inch fucking semicircle. Eat your heart out, Storm the Cat.
Oh my god. I just couldn't. I had a breakdown. I was gone mentally by the time that game was over. I had to sit down for like a half hour.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, look, it's also like, even like leaving that 1 will on the Barrow wight, it opens up to, I don't really want to spend this will on this Drain Courage, or I don't want to spend this will on this, Compel or whatever. Like,
100%. Yeah.
It really, really puts the fear in for sure. Like that will suddenly becomes like gold. It's you cannot spend it frivolously.
That's the best.
Don't do that because I will spend my will, mate.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is like the best situation you put from personal experience, an Elrond or someone like that, is they have 1 or 2 will left, and you've got the Witch King, and you go compel. It goes off. If he resists the compel, you come in with that 1 dice paralyze. If he chooses not to resist the compel to save the dice to paralyze, suddenly he's stuck at fight 6 because he's transfixed. Gulavhar just runs in and minces him, like there's just stuff like
that. It's like there's synergy. The synergy in Angmar. There's a reason that since 2018 or whatever, there's a reason there's been a lot of top tables with Angmar at the top for sure.
Solid army for sure.
Absolutely. They you've got to pilot them well, but if you pull that off, they are near unbeatable. It is scary.
I also just love that there's so many different ways to play Angmar. You can play Angmar in that where you've got 10 models, or you can play it where you've got a good decent amount of models, but then you can also hoard out. I went up against a 52 model Angmar army, and I sat there going, what the fuck do I do against this shit? I'm like, all I could do was shoot his orc ranks, and then we were playing Heirlooms of Ages Past. He picked up the heirloom first turn, and he created this orc shield wall and went bang, come at me. I was like, yeah, no problem, it's all good. I just shot him for a good hour. We had half an hour left. I was like, sweet, I've dropped you enough, I can get in there, push through, get the objective. No, because suddenly they got fucking terror.
Yeah.
Like these orcs have terror and I'm courage 1. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not charging nothing. Oh, you've also got a shade? Sick. Like
yeah.
it's filthy and I love it. So yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
one the army on the whole, that negative player experience. Like you got to manage that at a tournament. All bets are off. You play as hard as you can for as long as you can.
Unless you play vanquishers.
Unless you play vanquishers.
Fuck 'em.
But yeah, I would advise against taking a hard Angmar list against a new player. It's not a good way to get people into the games.
Oh,
it's,
not at all.
Yeah.
It's a zero fun game sometimes. Like you just
Can
kind of
be.
go, okay, cool. I'm just gonna, you can't really play. Like if you try and play the game, you're gonna be in trouble. Like
If you're pining for top table from the very beginning, that's when you take a hardcore Angmar list, and odds are you'll do well if you pilot it properly. But onto our last hero, the big man himself. Yep,
done.
This is another. That's yeah. Look, it's hard not to put him S tier. Like you can't. It's so hard to argue that he doesn't belong.
Surely he's top of S tier though.
Oh yeah, big time. I just
he's fair enough. Crown of Morgul on a horse or fell beast. Was it re-rolling casts? Is it
and dispels
3 attacks? Just
Yeah.
and he's such a good caster. Like
ridiculously good caster. You can give him you can give him 20 will if you really want to. He's 3 might with strike if you want to. He's got 3 fate with D8 if you want to. Like it's
do you take him with more than like 18 will? Because I feel like with named ring wraiths, you don't want to go beyond like you don't want a crazy amount of will. Like even if the Witch King's got like 16 will, maybe even like
that's
17,
it. Like
I feel like is where you kind of cap it.
Yeah,
18 would be the cap for me, but
that's the 2 for me. I see it as 18 is you're intending to use, like you put him on a fell beast and he's going to go into combat. You've got enough will for spells and the Will of Evil, I think it's called, or
Will of Evil.
Will of Evil. 16 if you put him on a horse and he's a support caster that might go in. You know what I mean? That's to me they're the 2 sweet spots I've found. 16 support, 18 melee beat stick. You know. And that's
20. Those extra 10 points can go to some orcs or whatever, like, or shields on someone, or chuck a Morgul blade on them. Like,
oh, of course, he gets Morgul blade as well. Auto kill, baby. Yeah, sick.
Yeah,
with up to 8 dice on a fell beast.
Ridiculous.
Hot stuff.
He's hard to beat. He's very hard to beat. Oh man, and like you can, even though, especially if he's on fell beast, you've been using him like a beat stick, and suddenly he's on like 3 will. You're just like, oh, okay, I'll just fly him back, and
he's just gonna chill.
You're not getting leader VPs, and he's just gonna be back of the board kind of thing. Like,
I'm trying to think back. I think I've only ever killed the Witch King when not in the Black Riders Legendary Legion. I think I've only killed the Witch King once. Like, he is a tough nut to crack.
I can't remember any time I've killed the Witch King.
Half the time, I'm just ignoring him. I'm throwing 1 model in to stop him from casting, and then just ignoring him. That's your tactic against him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's look. Did I just change screen? Whoops.
One of the best just from the local boys, Legolas, if you ever want to make a Witch King player cry, 2+, you hit the Witch King, no 5+ in wave for Fell Beast. Like throw might. I've had a game. It was pretty early in the piece where I managed to lose the Witch King turn 2 to Jarek's Legolas.
Yeah, actually, that's definitely a way to deal with the Witch King for sure. Or like,
because what's that? 6s by 4s. Then if you might potentially 5 by 3s.
I mean, at that point,
you're dropping all your might.
Yeah, you throw all 3 of Leggy's might at that. Like, you roll a 3, you're like, okay, cool. All 3 might. I want to kill him.
Yeah.
I need to kill him. Like,
when I was a bit fresher, I put, I do something like I put 2 might, 2 fate. You do your first one, second fate roll a 1. You don't have enough might to save. He's dead. So that's probably the other piece of advice. Always 3 might, 3 fate, in my opinion. Like,
big time. It's that 1 wound is huge. Like,
that's something I've never considered. When you might up a when you need a 6x4 and you might the 5 to a 6, it becomes a 5x3. If you use 3 points of might from a
That's a
3
1.
to a 6, does that
That's
bring?
a
it also brings
3x1.
Wow.
I think a 1. I could be wrong, but I think a 1 always fails. So yeah, but I think
yeah.
it would be. It'd be a 3x2.
Oh,
Then yeah,
does a 1 always fail?
we'll have to check that, lads. But
Yeah,
I'll
I
get
think
roasted if it
I've
doesn't.
I've heard that rule before,
I
but
think
I don't know
that's
if
a
it's
40k rule. I'm not sure it's the Lord of the Rings rule because you can potentially. I think there's one way of doing it, and I figured it out with Jack from Noobs before. I can't remember what it was, but you can get +1 to wounds down to a 1 with a particular model, and I can't remember for the life of me what it is.
I know a couple of models that can do that.
But yeah.
Dunland Legendary Legion can do it.
Dunland Legendary Legion,
It might have been that we were talking about, but there was something. Yeah.
+3s to wound on Dunland Legendary Legion.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do actually.
Yeah, so I'm certain the 1 always fail is a 40k or an Age of Sigma or a fantasy thing. Whereas in Lord
I've
of the Rings,
heard
you
it
can
before,
get
but
to the 1.
I think I've tried to find it and I couldn't. But
Yeah.
it's Dunland Legendary Legion. You hatred, so you've got to be versing Rohan, 2-hand, and then Warcry. Oh,
Yep.
Come at me. even +2s on prowlers. I'm just I love it so much. Anyway, we're not talking about either of those armies, but I love them. A Witch King, man, brutal, absolutely brutal.
I'm really happy with how this tier list worked out. I know a lot of people have said to us, "Oh, it's Angmar, everyone's going to be S tier," and like part of me kind of wants to agree with that, but a lot like we got three in S tier, we've got the 4 in A tier, and then we've got the 3 in B and D tier. That I think I've seen one player take the Dwemer Lake in any Angmar list, and that's Dylan. But apart from that,
his first Angmar list as well.
I've never seen a Dwemer Lake. I've never seen an Orc Shaman, and I've only ever seen Orc captains on W.A.R.Gs.
Yeah, a few captains. Like the thing is, like captains, they're B tier, but that's only because there's so much more in that list that just that can you're going to take over them. But they're still good. They're still solid even in that B tier. Yeah.
Well, and that's exactly what B tier is for us. Is that like they have a spot in the army, but there are just other options to potentially take. But you should still consider these boys. D tier and C tier is kind of where you get to that. Oh, I'm not even going to look at them really, kind of thing.
Getting pretty niche.
D tier is definitely. I'm not looking at them. C tier is like, look, if I want a fun little themey army or whatever, or like something along those lines. Just
D tier is shit posting.
Shit posting. No, that's when we make our own tier below. That's shit posting.
That's true, shit posting.
Alrighty.
Let's jump on to our warriors. There's not a lot, which is nice. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and easy.
Not a lot of them have a lot of war gear either, so I didn't have to make too many other alternate bits. I might shuffle these around though, just a little bit, just so we're not just a little bit more spicy.
Spice-licious. Well,
all right.
Orc warrior. Is this just a 2-handed Orc warrior?
Two-hander Orc warrior. Yeah.
I think they got place. I think most of the Orcs are going to sit in B tier. So I think the 2-handed.
I think there's going to be a couple in A.
Oh yeah, I think your shield and spear boys in my mind are probably going to sit in that A. But the 2-handed boys, like, sprinkle a few into the list for sure, just to get that extra bit of strength. But
I mean, they can have a 2-handed axe or pick because it's just 2-handed weapon, so they can piercing strike to strength 4. The -1 doesn't matter as much because if you've got a shade, suddenly your 6 is better than their 6.
Very true.
Regardless of their fight value.
Yep. It's
nice. It's very nice.
It's probably one of the favorite experiences I've had with the 2-handers is my BrizCon last year. My 200 point list was 2 Barrow wights and a warband with mostly orcs with 2-handed weapons.
Oh,
You just paralyze everything, and these orcs run in piercing strike. Just
oh,
Yeah.
strength 4 plus ones to wound on orcs
And you
on a
get double dice 'cause
6-point
they're a
model.
All,
Oh my
all,
god.
all I can imagine there is just a scene from like a movie where someone just like in heavy armor like falls over, they trip in the mud or something, and it's like the lightly armored boys just run in and just like, yeah. Like,
Oh my god,
exactly
that's
that.
brutal.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like that alone, it's kind of making me want to put him in A tier. Like it's
Still
just,
B.
I
Still
still,
B,
yeah.
reckon,
I think it is
yeah.
B, but
in the
like
grand scheme of things, I think you
Yeah.
still put them B.
they're
Yeah,
just
it's
like
slightly niche.
yeah, I get you're not gonna auto put them in the army. They're not gonna be everywhere, but definitely
They're a nice sprinkling. You sprinkle them.
definitely chuck them in your list for sure. Chuck them in your list.
Troll with
Just-
hammer,
Amazing. Troll with
Baby.
hammer. I mean,
maybe.
Just
Do
that
you-
good.
Do you always take one of them? Yes, I feel like you do.
it depends. Depends on the list
Depends.
for sure. But
Yeah.
I just think like in general, like I know S tier is usually like an auto take.
Yeah.
But it's also like a burly fight 6, strength 6,
Yeah.
80-point model,
Yeah.
3 attacks, 3
Three
wounds.
attack.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd personally still lean A. Sorry to be a contrarian, lads.
No,
Oh,
no,
you're
no. We
right.
love it. That's what you're here for.
They don't have the they're great, and yes, they're killy. But there's a lot like Gulavhars and stuff are very killy too. So you're not necessarily looking for killers in your list.
That's true.
That
That's
is-
true.
Yeah.
And another big negative for them is they don't have the Angmar keyword. So they don't actually, like if you put a shade next to a cave troll, the cave troll suffers the negative one as well. So they don't really, they're not like the, they're really good, but they're just not the bang on synergy piece that your birders
You're
or your-
right. Yeah.
yeah. So
No,
yeah,
I
that's-
forgot about the Angmar
Drop it.
keyword. That's it.
Yeah, they don't have it.
Yeah.
That is
That-
bonkers.
them and I'm pretty sure I'll double check now that definitely W.A.R.G don't either.
Wild Wogs, no, yeah. I think
and
oh no,
even the
Wogs
W.A.R.G chieftain.
The
Even the
wild
W.A.R.G
chieftain doesn't either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
W.A.R.G riders do
that's-
because they got the orc. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's something to be aware of. If someone starts shading you,
That's-
there are instances where they can't shade.
That's,
True,
that's a good point. This is
Yeah.
why This is why you're here, mate.
This is why you're
It's like-
here. We would have
that
kept. We would have
went-
left
Over our heads.
that.
So-
we would have absolutely left that.
Fair enough. We
Yeah.
would have had a burly troll in S tier in an Angmar list, but they're A tier. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, spot on.
God,
Yeah.
so good though. So good.
Look at you.
Um,
Sorry for being a contrarian. Come on, mate.
you
came in-
with the great.
You came in clutch. You came in real
Yeah.
clutch. You're
Came
like,
in swinging there.
saving our bums.
Nah, hardly. budding Angmar player, I mind you.
Oh mate, no, very
He
good.
says that. He says that.
All right, the old D7, D5 orc. I think it's got to go A tier
Yeah.
as well. Maybe not above the troll.
I think
Yeah.
just because you're going to be taking a lot, and they are that like core aspect of your list. Terror orcs, mate.
Yeah, Terror orcs.
Shielding terror orcs.
Magic.
a 6-point model that's going to cause terror and
Yeah.
oh
And importantly, they can take a you can stab, so they can try kill yourself if it's on a break gamer. But the pick can come in clutch too, especially
that's true.
Yes, they're really good.
Yeah.
But,
Good value, very good
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
I think like that's all. That's all you need to say, really. Like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
a 6-point model that can
Cause
stab,
terror.
pierce, shields,
Yeah.
all kinds of shit. Very good.
Crazy stuff.
Oh, the Spectres. Now I was actually until this hero spirit model fucking business popped up. I was thinking S tier for these boys.
I still think S tier, but
yeah.
mate,
I-
the ability
I-
that
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry,
Keep going.
mate. The thing I find with Spectres and even with Sentinels to a large degree is people think about stuff that can move them out of sequence and they think it's half their movement. And then when you turn around and say, no, I
A
can make
full move for sure.
And that's the big thing. Like the Gulavhar synergy is just absolutely massive with these boys. Even the Witch King
Yeah.
setting up hurls on stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
And the best, like most fun I've ever had with one is against a Gondor list with Avenger bolt throwers, and I've had 3 of them. You grab a Gondor knight, he runs his full 10 inches in front of a Gondor Avenger bolt thrower, and it can't shoot. You know.
Oh yeah, true.
So they are just If you don't, I personally wouldn't leave home without 3 of them.
You know, like that's it. Like I was kind of going maybe A tier just purely because they're like, in terms of being like profile wise, they're pretty garbage.
Yeah. Oh. Blades of the Dead, mate.
Blades of the Dead, yes. Blades of the Dead, yes.
Yeah.
Fight 2, no, thank you.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, and like they're only D5, like they can die to shooting as if you're not looking after them, obviously. But yeah, it's the harbinger on a courage check model like that, especially if you're like, oh hey, I'm just gonna drain some courage real quick. Oh, your hero failed that courage check. Oh well, full
bye.
Yeah, not even like I find the best application, like number of like trolls and stuff like that. Courage 3 or 4 down to courage 2 or 3. They fail a courage check, and that's the troll. A 15-point model taking the troll out of the fight for a turn. You know, like,
Liam knows that pain. We had a TTS game where his troll did nothing the entire game because my sentinel was just like
a sentinel. Whoop. Like, oh, you're not sorry. Yeah, and it kept moving me. It was further back each time, and finally he stops targeting it. But at 6-inch move, it's just like trudging back in.
No, I think as you said, Dodd, like you're always taking at least 2 of these. Obviously depending on points, but I think 500 points up, you have to be taking minimum 2. Even 3 at 500 is huge. They're huge on anti-shooting to stop your opponent shooting or lowering the amount of shots that they can take by just moving models in front of them. They're just massive, and it's with all of Angmar, the synergy that they have with literally everything in that list, massive. Opening up spaces for Gulavhar or a fell beast to pop in and go, bleh, you're now dead. They're massive. And that one lucky turn or that one game where you'll get a hero failing their fucking courage to one of these bad boys
big time.
Is a laugh.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Dead Marsh Spectre, but I had managed to and to be fair, it could have been a Dead Marsh Spectre. He only tried once. So basically, I'd pulled Gulavhar in behind my lines with my elf army. I used it was wood elves as well, so I had throwing weapons galore. Pulled him in behind my lines with a sentinel, and I was like, sick. I'm just going to surround Gulavhar with throwing weapons.
Because he's only courage 4, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, I actually had wounded him as well, so he was only courage 3. So yeah. So I brought him in. I was like, sick. This is my time. I'm just going to throw. I think I had 8 throwing weapons to throw into him and just absolutely ruin his day. Motherfucker comes in with the Witch King. I'm going to compel one of those boys and just throw him into Gulavhar. Now you can't shoot him.
Yeah.
Like,
best counter ever.
Ruined my day. And then, like, the thing is as well, he had 2 more Spectres that he could have tried that with as well. It's just,
there's also nothing better than a Dead Marsh Spectre or anything with compel or the moving shit. Like, plugging a gap, watching your opponent set up heroic combat and they've got this one 25 30 mil gap that they have to go through, and you just go, it's going to get blocked by one of your own fuckers. Whoop! And you're like, just filthy. S tier, 100%, no doubt.
Well, I had some doubt, but that's fine. Troll with spear, just a regular old cave troll. I guess you could say this is the troll with troll chain either as well. It's nice. I don't mind. I actually quite like a cave troll with spear. Like I rate a cave troll with spear. It has a little bit more utility than a cave troll with hammer, purely because you can then spear support with him. And having a fight 6 spear support, because like the things with a lot of monsters, not so much the flying boys, but those big bases, trying to squeeze them in your army. If you've got a lot of models, a lot of orcs, I do it with goblins, way too many goblins, and you're like, oh, I can't fit my cave troll through because I was trying to keep him behind the lines because I didn't want him to get shot. You're like, okay, cool. My spear support though, chuck him in behind, a goblin, a W.A.R.G marauder, anything like that. The W.A.R.G captain, like the mounted captain. Fight 6 spear support. It's value.
I definitely feel like I lean in an Angmar list. I would definitely lean towards the troll with spear. Maybe even in a Moria list, I'd probably lean towards the troll with spear, just to get that fight 6 spear support. And then once your lines do disintegrate, suddenly there's a fight
There's
6
a cave
troll
troll that's on
just
full
waiting
health.
for
And
you.
you just...
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
But so yeah, I think just to up your fight value in this, because your fight 3 basically everywhere except on your heroes, aren't you? I don't think there's no reliable way to get to fight 4. So
No, no.
you wouldn't be looking to bring these guys in as your beat stick killy boys. They're just there to like walk in and spear support against
Yeah.
like an
It is, to
Aragon
be
or
fair,
something, and go.
Yeah,
Now you're sitting.
you
It's
have
like,
to strike.
it's like a
Or-
Citadel guard,
Fountain Court.
not Fountain Court, the Galadrim boys.
Oh, Galadrim Court
pikemen.
God. Yeah.
That just
House of the
sit
Galadrim Court.
behind. Admittedly, you can get a lot of them, but like you just sit them behind.
A lot more.
It's like your fight
Yeah.
6 hero, strike baby.
Yeah. What I love about it is the ability to spear support a mounted model, because your fight 6 in a mounted model, they're prone. That cave troll is still getting 2 attacks at strength 6, even though it's behind the lines. Like, oh, it's tasty.
Some would way of getting the W.A.R.G chieftain to fight 6 too. If you look
Yeah,
at it
exactly.
Very
Yeah.
true. Just to make it even filthy, I like it.
that way.
Yeah, chuck
Yeah.
him behind that captain, chuck him behind the chieftain, chuck him behind even just W.A.R.G riders. Like you've got three attacks at fight 6, and then strength 4 strength 6. Like, oof.
And
Very nice.
Same bloody situation with the Moria that I mentioned. Once you do get through to that troll, you got a full stack troll ready to beat down on you. So
Yeah,
I think they sit A tier.
I'd honestly put him above Hammer Troll.
Yep.
I love the Hammer Troll, and I think definitely the Hammer Troll is really good, especially if you're using him right. But it's just those awkward times. Sometimes you just be like, "Oh, I can't move my Hammer Troll into combat now," and it's just got to sit there and be awkward.
Yeah.
It's what Dodd said before about you don't need that Burley, because you've got the likes of Gulavhar, you've got the Witch King on Fell Beast and all that stuff. You can just go, I don't need this boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%. That's where your killings come from.
Yeah, but you do need the fight value.
You do.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talking about
what?
fight value, this next boy's not going to help you.
The rest of the
Hey,
models,
why?
I think it.
Yeah, just a W.A.R.G with banner.
I don't like mounted banners.
No,
Just flat out.
Yeah,
Give a model the killing power, then
Yeah.
cut his Achilles heel so he can't run. Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
yeah.
it's
A mounted model with a banner effect, like your Suladans, your Imrahils, they're heroes as well, and they don't get any negatives. Perfect, no
Yeah.
problem, sweet. You put it onto a cavalry model. The only cav model I'm putting a banner on is Rivendell Knight, and that's when you're taking pure Rivendell Knights.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I can't think of any
it's
that I'd
just
want
like
to. You don't lose that
what I
killing power.
like about a banner on a mounted model is that if you've got quite a large cavalry contingent, so say it's you've got a full spec warband of a captain, like maybe then, because you're going to be away from the main army for the most part, or behind kind of thing, like maybe then you chuck a banner on the W.A.R.G. But even then, like a banner in a fight 3 army is already like a bit expensive.
If you're running 12 W.A.R.G riders, give one a banner, sure, no problem. Or if you're running no W.A.R.G riders and you've just got one W.A.R.G rider with a banner just running behind your lines, cool. All right, I'll accept that. Maybe.
I'm putting him
But
C tier.
Yeah, putting him C tier.
That's it. You just look at the cost, like a W.A.R.G rider with banner, you could get for the cost of the banner alone, or even the cost of the W.A.R.G rider with the banner, that's an additional 3 W.A.R.Gs with throwing spears and a shield.
Yeah.
I know what I'd be taking every day. Another 3 W.A.R.G
Yeah.
riders,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or even like almost 5 orcs, like
Yeah.
four and a bit orcs, like and that's 4 more dice that you're going to be using. That's like, there's the fact that the UK don't use banners is
Baffles
travesty to me.
Yeah.
But they
I'm-
don't like they
The
really
UK, US, Canada hate banners. They do not take
Really?
banners. Yeah.
do
Like,
not understand.
I
We
went
must
on
have
to
played fight 3 armies, or
That's it. Like that's it. On a fight 3
Yeah.
army, it's not as valuable. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
It's
it's like
still gonna
elves.
help.
Elves with
Oh,
banner,
elves.
sweet Jesus,
Scary,
like that's
man,
crazy
scary.
Yeah.
stuff. If you can get
It
2 banners in with
sucks.
elves, more. But like
Yeah.
banners are hectic good, and these other countries are like, nah, we don't take them. They're too expensive. Sorry, mate. Banners
They're
are
too expensive.
king.
Yeah, Awkward Spear, I think is A tier as well.
tier.
Like that's a
Yep.
it's a model you're gonna take.
Yeah. Any
You-
standard backline, it's a force modifier in some aspects. Love spears.
Yeah, love spears.
Yeah.
I just think that courage, that courage, the terror that they cause, even though they are going to be a D4 model, well, you could make them D5 if you really want to. Spend that extra point, spear shield if you really want to.
I'd D5 all day, mate. It's just
Yeah.
even if it's not for the defense, the ability
The ability to shield.
Yeah, that's like you got a terror causing model that's throwing 2 dice. At my view, Angmar, like I said years earlier, the killers are those couple of heroes and whatever.
Yeah.
These boys are there to buy time, and the best way to do that is to cause terror and throw 2 dice every combat. And whether that's with a spear or when the front guy dies, the back guy starts shielding. You know, you're just trying to buy time to that break.
That's true. It's very
Fair
true.
enough. Love it.
But yeah, easy A tier.
Wild Rider with bow, D tier. Get rid of him.
Yeah, look, fucking 5+, shoot, and then or like it's actually going to be 6 most of the time because you're going to be trying to move them. You're hamstringing this 10-inch move boy. It's so dumb.
No good.
No,
that's enough
good
said
at
about
all.
him.
Yeah,
Regular
don't need
WA.R.G.
to say anymore.
I feel like they just
Wild
sit nicely
WA.R.G,
in Wild WA.R.G. I think they just sit in B.
Yeah, agree.
Nicely in B.
Yeah,
a few of them sprinkled in, or if you're taking the W.A.R.G chieftain and a bunch of these guys, beautiful. You're laughing.
As far as I call it, one of my favorite war bands is Gulavhar with 3 wild WA.R.Gs. It's Gulavhar and his puppy dogs. They've got the movement,
maggot.
you know. That's it.
It's Farmer Maggot on steroids.
Jekyll and Hyde, but Farmer Maggot and Gulavhar.
Oh my god!
You got like it's just like with the 12-inch fly and the 10-inch move on the WA.R.Gs for Maelstrom, they just cover him brilliantly, and you know it's just the perfect number of models to cover him in Maelstrom and also to run up with him and give him in the ways for the first 2 turns that you run up. So as far as the 2 options I see is the loyal guards to Gulavhar or a wild WA.R.G chieftain sort of list.
The royal guards to Gulavhar. Oh my god!
And they're a good source of strength 4 in the list as well. Like
yeah.
Nice easy strength 4. Great for in the ways for 7 points, 10-inch move. Yeah, very nice. But
don't use them as objective cappers though, because they will all fail.
they'll leave. They'll leave forever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I burned those dice, by the way.
Oh, nice. Oh man.
Oh mate. Yeah.
I want to those Angmar dice. I can't believe you weren't rolling well in those courage checks because that entire game it was like 6s. I just kept seeing the crown of Morgul pop up and I was like,
no, that wasn't that game. It was the game before.
Oh, it was the Dale game, of course.
Yeah, it's the Dale game. You were seeing all the 6s, mate. Holy shit!
I had their
dice.
They just flicked the switch on that second game. If they're giving you a good game, that's it. That's enough.
Oh my god! I couldn't get over all those 6s you were rolling. I almost started a tally. I was like this close to starting a tally on that battle report.
That game was something special. I loved it.
I'm an AR player, mate. It takes a lot, but I actually felt a bit bad in that game.
No need. That's what we love.
It was just got on a roll.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Banner in a fight 3 army.
B tier. They're cool. Take one.
I'd never leave him without one.
Yeah, chuck him next to the Witch King or Gulavhar or your big heroes. You don't care about him in your you don't care about him in your like rank and file troops. You want him with that wild chieftain with the big beefy heroes. So take one.
Well, it's not going to catch up to the wild chieftain, but it's gonna be
if he's
you need it near. You definitely need it near like a Gulavhar or a Witch King because you need that 6 on those boys for sure.
Oh yeah.
But no. Other than that, you're not really going to use it for those troops at all.
Shade Death Bubble is probably its big applicate. If you did want to
That
play
as well.
Angmar that way,
True.
Oh yeah,
that
true,
is
true.
you need them for that list. But
Yeah, big time. Yeah, because you want those 6s, absolutely.
Wild Rider with shield, B tier, C tier, one of the two. Because the Wild Rider with Soaring Spear will always be 1 tier up for me.
Yeah.
So whether the Wild Rider with Soaring Spear is in A tier or B tier will determine whether the Spear Boy is, because he will always be 1 down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I'd
put
say
him.
we just put it in Mordor just to get an idea of his
I
metric.
think it was thereabouts. I think it was about C
Yeah,
tier as
think
well
it
from
was
memory.
C,
So in Angmar, I'd go a tier up just because of the Terror. You know, and a cavalry model to cause Terror.
That's
Especially
true.
with-
Actually, oh
Yeah.
yeah, cavalry model cause of terror. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Plus, Gulavar's a 12-inch moving spirit, so you can have that Wild Wild pack running with Gulavhar. Gulavar's given them Harbinger and Terror. Like, it can be a nice little.
Yeah, the
no,
Wild
yep.
Riders.
Big
yeah.
up.
No,
And then
that's fair.
the Soaring Spear Boy, chuck him straight into A tier. Because once
Yeah.
again, Terror, if they fail to charge, suddenly you can charge them back with your Throwing Spear.
Yeah,
laughing.
big time.
I love a W.A.R.G throwing spear. So cheap.
Oh,
What are
man.
they? 13 points?
Well, 12
11,
if you
12
don't give them a
points.
shield.
12 points. Filled. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
You're likely going to give them a shield. You want that D5, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Yeah, no, I just looked at Mordor. We put him C and D, C and B, but yeah, that terror, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
Just
bumps
that
them up
next
for
step
sure.
up, I reckon.
I
Yeah.
always forget about the terror until I actually like verse Angmar. So
Yeah.
I think your rank and file orcs S tier.
I was leaning that way, especially to me, sword and board guys. Like,
yeah,
you will not get, like, you look at a Black Noomi, they're doing Black Noomi stuff for
6 points.
fraction of the
I
cost, you know?
really want to
Yeah.
put those shield boys into S tier. I really do.
Mm,
And if the spearmen had shields, I'm
Yeah.
chucking
Well, you
them into
can-
S tier as well.
give them
Yeah.
shields.
You
Anything
can.
with a shield, I would, 100%.
I-
I was happy with A, but I would take them S
Ooh.
every day of the week.
At least
Yeah.
put the shield boys into S tier.
Yeah.
Keep the spear boys there just because
Fuck it.
to
They need to belong
represent-
together.
fair enough.
They need to belong together. They do.
I just had him.
Yeah,
I was
look,
just saying
I
A
was
tier to
considering
represent without shield and with shield. But
I'll be
yeah,
honest,
fair enough.
Jeff, mate. If you come out with actually, put him S tier, I would have been behind you if that all
Oh,
straight
sorry,
up with
yeah.
your Warriors, because that was
Oh.
I was thinking it, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, 8 is fine." I'm like,
A
okay,
6, just to get it like 6 points,
that's it.
D5,
Yeah.
Terror, backed up by Harbinger.
Yeah,
You know,
As
you
I
can
said,
give,
like-
yeah,
Yeah, as I
elves
said,
are
I
gonna
always
struggle, you know?
that's
I
it.
always forget about that bloody terror until I actually verse the fucking army.
Yeah.
And then you reminded me, and I was like, oh, they jumped to S. There's
Yeah, because it's like I'm trying to find where the fuck they are. Black Numbs are 9 points. Yeah, 9 points, and you've got the extra defense, the extra fight,
Yeah.
and the extra courage. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get access to Black Numbs in that list, and that's a
4
6
points
point
cheaper.
model. Yeah, 6
Yeah.
point model, 4 points cheaper. 3 points cheaper.
3 points cheaper, sorry. So it's probably right in the grand scheme of things, but it
Yeah, for
feels
the extra
really good.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, you can't get Black Numbs in this list, so like they are the Black Num of this list, and I think we
Yep.
put Black Numbs S tier. So
I'm pretty sure we did.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Beautiful. I really like this. I liked our tier list how it was before we moved those orcs to S tier, but now
Yeah.
I look at it again and I'm like, even
It- but
better.
they
This
do belong
feels
there, to be fair.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
This makes me happy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
that. an
Actually,
orc,
okay, hang
orc
on.
in S tier over a bloody troll.
I have a little spanner in the works. A
Oh,
banner that
here we
causes
go.
terror. A banner that causes terror.
A tier, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
baby.
Bring 'em up. Bring 'em
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Bring them up. Big,
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
big ups. Fair enough.
Still an orc with shield, I guess. Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
an awkward shield with banner causing terror. And especially given that you are going to be keeping him within 3 inches of those big heroes, he's always going to be causing terror. He's
Yeah.
always going to be causing a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bang on. Fair enough. Does that mean the W.A.R.G rider banner moves up to at least B tier? 'Cause
No.
They can also cause terror.
No.
All right, lads. Banner in the works. W.A.R.G rider with bow. S tier. Terracore,
Oh, you're absolutely
terracausing
right. Let's
bowman.
go. All right,
Yeah.
done.
What are you doing? Send him back.
Can I throw a
You're
spanner in the works?
absolutely. You're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Jeff's never going to join us again, mate.
Yeah. And I
There we
need to move something. There we go.
go. Oh,
Oi!
Fix
Oi!
it. I fixed it, guys. I fixed it.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight, I don't think.
Ruined
You're
us.
gonna be seeing Spectre and D tier. You're like, oh no. This is the list we'll post to like the Facebook group or something. Just
Change it back before I have an aneurysm.
Sean has left the chat.
Yeah.
well,
Perfect.
lads, I think we've got a good tier list here. I think Jeff genuinely helped us with this one because we would have made some terrible mistakes.
There was some things going over our bloody head. So big shout out to you, mate. Like you've
been a pleasure, lads. I'm interested. Like, this is how I see them, and that's like what you've got there sort of reflects my thoughts. I'd love to hear what the community has to say about it. You know, like be really good to see what the wider community thinks about Angmar and where they think they rank. So
yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people screaming for just all S tier, and we were like,
exactly. Maybe. If Jeff says so, then yes.
If I was to compare Angmar to any other army, a lot of it would be, but like to me, I think it's like if the scope's Angmar, it's
comparing the list, which is the thing we're trying to get through people's heads. We are comparing Angmar and Angmar alone to the rest of Angmar, and it's like, compared to the rest of the list, this is how it goes.
It's none of this allied stuff or nothing. So, it took a few videos for people to get that in because they're like, oh no, this model's S tier because they synergize well with this model. I'm like, but that model
doesn't matter what they do with that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Sweet.
But no, thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. It was an absolute pleasure. Give us a little spiel about W.A.R.G. We want to hear about. We want the other people to find yous and to figure everything out. Obviously, everything will be in the description area below. But let us know what W.A.R.G. is.
Stole my words out of me. Absolute pleasure is how I always describe it, mate. So it's the same thing in return. Being an absolute pleasure, lads. So W.A.R.G, it stands for War Gamers and Role Players Gladstone. We're actually a little tabletop club. Gladstone's 6 hours north of where these boys are in Brizzy. But we're a community. We have a lot of Middle Earth strategy battle game, but we play all other kinds of systems. We have role players and whatnot. And we've started a channel filming a couple of battle reports. Hopefully you've seen a couple and you're enjoying what we do. We've got Sean on there playing his Rangers against my Angmar. I thought it was a really good game.
Very good game.
Took the last turn for me, but no salt.
No, mate.
Had an absolute blast. But like I said, I'm happy to keep working with you, lads, and try to get a couple more battle reports in the future if you're keen.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be up there for your next tournament. And guys, genuinely, if you're near the area of Gladstone, it's such a lovely club to go to. If you can make it, it's so nice.
In and around that central Queensland area, even if they're 5 hours away, fuck it, go to them. Go and give them a visit. They're a lovely bunch of lads. Even Cal's an all right fella.
He's fine.
He's all right. Greatest bloke in Queensland, according to himself. But like, generally,
ranked
a great
only by
community.
himself.
Great community, great bunch of lads, and we want to keep working with you guys as well. When is that next Gladstone tournament? I know it's in March, but I can't remember the date.
5th and 6th of March, lads.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so we won't be at the club. It'll be in a QRI hall, they call it. So we should have a licensed bar and everything for it. So it should be beers and dice,
spicy. Okay.
Very nice.
Well,
I can't guarantee it, but that's the discussions we're having at the moment. So more to follow, I guess.
I mean, even if it isn't, lads, if you especially, I know that we've got a couple of lads in Brisbane who watch these. If you can make it up to Gladstone, we're going to be there. It's going to be such a fun time.
Rootin' tootin' time, guys.
Thanks for having us, lads.
No, thank you for giving us your time, mate.
Thanks for helping us.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving us from the angry comments. The
bloody
mean people in the comments.
Lawrence. God damn.
Oh, wow, it's been a while. Fuck you, Lawrence. Oh, mate. Love it. Fantastic. All right. Well, And for Lawrence, Noob Nation, we'll catch you later.
Like, favorite, subscribe, all that cool YouTuber stuff.
God, you've got to stop saying
I will
favorite.
always say it just to annoy you.
Please.
Just to annoy you.
I'd
links-
be, if it was me, I'd be in the comments. Fucking favorite doesn't exist. Favorite hasn't
Get
existed
into
for 4 years on YouTube. Oh my God.
Get in the comments. Get in the comments. Berate us, everything. You'll find links to W.A.R.G, all of their socials. You'll find our Facebook page. You'll find our Instagram, and you'll find other stuff. Maybe we'll see. Maybe. I'm trying to think if there's other stuff.
There might be.
But you'll
there
see.
might be things in the description. We might
Yeah,
update this
have,
later
just
on.
have a
when we've
gander.
got more
Just have a little
things.
gander. Just have a look. But yeah, lovely time once again. Thank you, and we'll see you guys around.
All right. Catch you
See you,
later.
gents.